So we will continue with the functions. Okay. So let's say I have a function called add. Okay. And I want that this function should be able to handle any number of arguments. Right. So let's say I have these three functions called. Okay. The same function should work for this. Okay? So the approaches which we have seen till now, one is my positional arguments, in which my number of arguments should be exactly same in my function call, in my function definition, right? Which I cannot use here. Second is default argument. So this default argument I can use to some extent, but so if I write a default argument for 3, then I can use elements from 1 to 3, right? If I have to do this using a default argument, I have to, let's say, minimum say 50 elements, so 50 arguments defaulted to the 0, then only it can work for the 50 arguments, right? So third way is my keyword, so which I cannot use here, right? So how I can do this? Okay.
Default arg is for all arguments, right?
So default, so we have seen, right? So for definition, I was
for all
yeah,
arguments you have
define other, yeah. And keywords we have seen. I'll specify the keywords, right? So start point and end point, we have seen that function. So whatever the variable names I have in my function definition, I use them as keywords to define the function call. Yeah. So we'll revise that. Okay. So how to write this function? So again, I've said that add. Okay. I need a sum of this. I'm saying sum equal to 0. Now all these arguments, how I can accept all these arguments in a single argument. So this is I can say using a star operator. Okay. Now this can be anything. So args is a user-defined name. Okay. But if you specify the star argument, star operator, this can be used to accept any number of arguments. Okay. Now, yeah. Now if I just print args here. Okay. You see, it is accepted as a tuple. Okay. So my Python will pass all these arguments. So this will pack all these arguments in one argument, that is tuple, and it will pass it to your function. Okay, and you can use this to do all your calculation. So I say sum is equal to 0. I'll iterate through this. As it's a tuple, I can iterate, right? Okay. So this is my packing of arguments in a single tuple. Okay. Now this works vice versa also. Okay. Let's say I have a definition. This is my simple print function, okay, which takes three values. Right? So we have seen I can get any number of arguments here. Okay. So print arguments and division. Okay.
One thing,
Yeah.
we don't give any space to the assignment problem.
Okay. Doesn't matter. You can give, you cannot. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Now let's say I have a list. Okay. Now if I say print val of L, okay. Now as there are three values, my function also accepts three values. Okay. So what I'm saying, I want to pass this three value as it is to my function. Okay. But if I just say L, it will throw me an error. Why? This will consider as a positional argument and it will try to match up the numbers. Right. So it will say, okay, there are two, so there's only one argument, but I'm expecting two more arguments. Right. So this star operator works here also. So what this will do, it will just pack it again as a tuple and it will pass. Okay.
You're passing a list.
So I have a list. Okay. Now either I can say if I want to pass these three values, right? One way is I can just pass this list, okay, and I'll not have this any argument, right? And in that case, only this will work, right? So I'm passing list, I'm accepting this, right? Now I have a function which accepts three different values. Okay, I have a list which contains three values, right? I have to pass it to this function. Okay? If I just say L, it will show me an error saying, so one way I have to do is L of 0, comma L of 1, comma L of, right? This is one way, or you can just say star L.
What if you have more than three elements?
No, in that case it will not.
You have this
Exact number should be there. What is the error I'm making? Very well. Oh. Okay. So it is same like it's just unpacking this particular list into multiple variables and it passing it as it. Okay.
It returns.
Oh yeah, same thing. Okay. So this is the reverse case of the first case we have seen. So here I was passing multiple values and accepting as a single value, right? But in this case, I can pass any number of values, right? Here, if I have a values, right, I'll just put a star operator and I can pass these three values separately. Okay. So please make sure understand this. I'm not passing a list reference here. Okay. So I'm passing this complete three values as an independent variable. Okay. So there is no reference on this L now. Okay. Now this works a bit differently in case of a dictionary. Okay. Let's say I have a dictionary which contains.
So if someone modifies the function definition, right? I can say function definition takes the four arguments. Then this is particular invoking remains same. Then it will go ahead. So
it is not the same as so it's not flexible like the first case.
No, if you increase the number of arguments there, if you are passing only three elements.
It will throw that.
It will throw that.
Then it will just try to unpack this and it will work as a positional argument.
So always your personal argument should match with your
match. Next thing, if I try to do the same thing with my dictionaries now, right? So I have a dictionary which contains 25. Now, if I have a value in a dictionary, okay, if I have to pass these three values, 25, 50, and a 75, okay, and if I do the same thing as a star D, let's see what I get. X is not defined.
X. One.
X, colon, Y, colon.
No, X should be double.
Oh, okay. So if you do this, you can see it is printing me just the keys. Okay. Now if I have to pass the values, I'll use my doubles.
Just create star B double branch. One.
Okay.
It's like a double branch.
So if you want the values, so if I do this, I'll get only keys there. Now, so these are three different values. Okay. These are not your keys and the values. So if I try to do that, grade one dictionary and just get the values out of this, it is not possible. So these are just the three plain values now I'm getting here. This is not a key value pair anymore. Okay. If you want a key value pair, better just pass entirety. Okay. So this is just a concept of packing and unpacking.
We want to both. So you can write the function as like passing the key and running.
So I can very well say something like this. Okay. Then I'll get an entire dictionary with the key and the value. That's perfectly possible. Yeah, exactly possible. But I have something function which I accept only three integer values, and that values are present in the form of a dictionary to me, right? And if I have to pass that values, scenario will be not frequently used. But
So summarize, like whatever you pass on the argument, it will send as a number of elements.
number of elements.
So it should be equal to the computer.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing, the values you are passing in a dictionary, so this is same as your keyword argument. If I try to do something called as I'm creating a key double. Okay. So see my values are X, Y, and Z. Okay, in my dictionary. By passing, I'm creating a dictionary of W, Y, and Z, and I want to pass these three values. This is also not possible. Okay. In short, this is a completely like a keyword arguments. You are saying X is equals to 10, Y is equals to 20, and Z is equals to 30. Okay. In this case, your X, Y, Z should match here. Same way, if you are passing the dictionary also, your key should match. Okay. Yeah. We'll discuss about scope of a variable. I'm saying a is equal to 10 inside of my function. I'm saying 20 outside of my function, which is okay, not allowed. The reason is my default scope is local. Okay, so whenever I create a variable inside of my function, it is only valid inside of my function definition, right? pretty much common in all programming languages. Okay, now let's see this case. I'm saying a is equal to 10 outside of my function. I'm saying print a. What happened? No, it should print 10 actually. Not giving a code. Okay. Okay. So I'm saying a is equal to 10. I'm giving a call to my function. I'm printing a. It's serving. Okay. Or it looks like is accepting as a as a global variable.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. A is equal to 20. Print a. It has given me errors. Okay. It is showing local variable a reference before assignment. Okay. Now why is that it is saying something like this? Right. I'll remove this print statement for now. Okay. And let's focus on the values. Okay. All right. Print.
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm defining a variable equal to 10, printing it, giving a call, printing it again. Okay. Now it will go inside a function. I'm giving another call. Okay. Now let's debug this. I'm saying a equal to 10, printed, went inside a function, a equal to 20, printed a equal to 20, which is inside of a function, came outside of function, it is a equal to 10 again. What just happened?
Yeah, but why does print function does not work?
Uh-huh.
Then why does print?
So,
This is a global variable. Right?
so defaultly, whatever variables I'll create will be a local to my Python. Okay. So it will not check if that particular variable already exists or not. Okay. So when I say a equal to 20, it will create another local variable a equal to 20. I'm printing the value print p. Okay. Now when it goes here, it prints value of the take 10.
That I should. But why does print this print? It's not defined before here. So it's a, there is a global variable. So we should
Now when I say a equal to 10, this is my global variable, right? When I go inside of function, my first statement is print a. As I said, whatever will be the variable, it will consider as a local variable. Okay. Now it will say local variable a is not assigned a value before printing.
But it was working, like, I mean, if you say, but they will remove.
If I say if I is equal to 50,
No.
uh-huh.
Before, you just had a print statement there.
It was working, yeah. This is the reason. The reason is
Because, yeah.
okay.
So if you don't define a local variable, it will work, right?
Yeah. So I'm saying print a, and it's printing the same value which I have here, right? Now the moment I do the assignment, okay, it will create a local variable. Now I am in my Python, I never specify what kind of data it is, right? Data type I do not have it, right? So everything is my assignment. So when I do the assignment, it will create a local variable for me. Okay, it will not consider it as a global variable. Okay. Now, if I want this variable to be considered as a global, okay, if I say a is equal to 50 and it should consider this a only, rather than creating a new local variable there, I have to say it using a keyword called global. Okay. I am saying do not create a local variable, access this global variable. Okay. Now if I say a is equals to 60, if I print my e, and here also I'm printing my e. I'll get a value of 60.
So if you put print after globally,
Okay.
so because your
It will be 50. Okay. Now there will be a single value.
so it does a lot of optimizing before this because see, when you do line by line, right? So it does a lot of pre-processing, I think, for execution.
So the concept is if I assign a value to any variable, it will be my default local variable. Okay. So default it will consider a local scope. If you want to make it a global, you have to use a keyword called global. Okay. Because at the time when you assign, if I'm having something like this, whenever I'm assigning a is equal to 60, now this time my Python is confused. Should I consider this as a local variable and create a new one, or should I reference it using this equal to 50? That's why without doing assumption, it throws me an error that this is a local variable, which is not. This is a bit different than C.
I think since it happens all the way at runtime, right? There's no
And
compilation.
there is no compilation. There is actually make everything based on the value. Yeah. So let's move to how to write a recursive function in my Python. Okay. What is a recursive function?
It loops on the same function.
Exactly. So function inside a function, right? So okay. I want a factorial of 5. Typical example, right? Okay. Okay. Try this without recursion first. So yeah. So first, it should answer will be one time. So write a function fact. Okay. 5. So this will give me answer 120 without regression this time. Then we'll go to the regression. Yep.
Why it is so many? I mean, it does not mention in order.
It's a indentation error. It might be at a return or one statement above it. So better putting the pattern data. Backspace. And yeah.
You want to say it.
Yeah. So what if I have to do this with recursion? So if I say factorial in terms of recursion, I can say 5 is equal to 5 into 4 factorial, right? This I can again write it as 4 into 4 into 3 into 3 factorial. Similarly, I can go into 3 factorial. Similarly, this will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 factorial. Now my 1 factorial is 1, right? Now this is once I get one answer to this, I have to multiply. So this should be given here, right? So it's a return statement here. So I get 1 here. So 2 into 1, so this should be written here to the likewise. So my answer is 1 if my 1 factorial is. My answer is 1 if my number is equal to 1, right? Same I can see. Instead of this, I'll just say that plus equals 1. Term factor 1 minus 1. What I'm writing. Okay. So how this will work? So initially when I pass 5, it will go here, right? So it will give me a call 5 into factorial of 4, right?
But you do figure out what factorial is working. You're just writing it in the function.
Exactly. So I'm using the same function. Okay? Fact is my function. I'm giving again call to this function. And if you go iteration by the way. So I'll give 5 into, I'm calling a 4 factorial, right? This is my function. Okay. In the next iteration, it will be of 4, right? So this will do 4 into function of 3, right? It will go again one level deep and it will call 3 into function factorial function of 2, right? Ultimately, it will go again 2 into factorial of 1, right? Now, once it reaches 1, so it will be factorial of 1, right? Now I'm saying if it's 1, return 1 because my 1 factorial is 1, right? Now this 1 will return to its caller, right? So this will be returned up here. I get answer as 2. Now once this is evaluation is completed, this return will result will be returned to its caller. Now who is the caller of this? So it will be returned up here. So I have 2 here. Now answer will be 6. Now this 6 answer will be returned to its caller. So I get 6 here. So my final answer for this will be 6 into 24. 6 into 4, 24. Right? Now this 24 will be written here. Right? So I'll get 120, and there will be the last written call of this final function, and this 120 will be returned to my final call. Right? So in my recursion, my return statements are really important. So if I return here, if I forgot to add a return, right? So my calls will go, okay, so it will give num into, so 5 into 4 factorial, okay. It will go inside, it will go inside. It will return 1 to this, right? So till this point it will work fine. But this 2 will not get somewhere. So this 2 is just that 2. The call will be lost somewhere in between. Okay?
Oh, only because of that
Return, so it's getting bad. Yeah, that is the reason. So if I do not add a return, I'll not get result back. So I'm calling this so that I can, so I'm dividing it, and then it is giving me the result, and then I'm passing the result at one stage.
Something like you come and again
Execute. Now let's try for a binary.
So here, even in Python, we have to say like callback function.
Callback value, callback reference, that thing.
Callback function. You register a function.
Mm-hmm.
Then you using a pointer to call back.
Right? Okay.
So, like concurrency will be 15, right? But
Fine. Okay. Now another example of recursion. Let's say I have a list. We have seen the linear search. That's what I'm saying. 29, 99, 5. All right. So I have a list. I have a key 111, let's say, or let's have a time. Okay. And I have to search it using a binary search. Okay. So it will take a list as a function, it will take a key, and it will return me true or false. If my key is present, it will return me true, else it will return me false, right? Now, what is the logic for my binary search? It will start from the mid, okay? Mid, okay? So I have a 20, right? So I have to check if this 20 is present in this or not, okay? Now, main thing, my array should be sorted. First, I have to sort it. Okay, now binary search only works on a sorted array. It's a yeah.
Yes, that true.
Yeah. Okay. Now my array should be sorted first thing. Okay. I'll start from the mid. Okay. So my mid will be length by. Okay. What is the length? Is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So fourth element. 6, 7, 8, 89. Right.
When should be?
That is my algorithm. Okay, I'll say that is my. So I'll start from my mid. I'll check if my element is present at mid or not. Okay, so I'll calculate mid. My mid is 89, right? I'll check if this 89 is equal to 20 or not. Okay, if I get the element, I'll return true, right? Else, I'll check if this key is greater than mid or a less than mid. Okay, first thing I'll check 89 is greater than this 20, or I'll check if this 89 is less than 20, right? Now, if my 89, if my mid is greater than my key, which means as this is sorted, if my keys exist, it should be on the left hand side of my list, right? If it's greater, which means if my key is present, it will be on the right hand side of my list, right? Now I'll just simply ignore the other half of my list. Okay. So if it's less than, which means it is on the left hand side of my mid, right? So now I'll just simply ignore this list. Okay. So that I can minimize the number of iterations. Okay. Now my list contains only this much. Okay. Again for this, now for this list, I'll calculate the mid. Okay. Now this is 3 by 2. I'll get 1, right? First element mid will be 20. I'll check if the element is present or not. So it is present in 20, right? So I'll return true. Okay. Now imagine a case if my key is 10. Okay. So I have a list 89 it compared, then it check this much part, right? Now I have a list of 3 numbers. My mid is 20. I check if this 20 equal to 10. No, right? Then I'll check if this is less than or greater than a key. Less than a key, all right? Then take a key, then take a list which is on the left hand side of it, right? Now I have only 10 in my list, right? Now I'll again calculate the mid of it. I'll have only one element, one mod 2. I'll get 0. I'll check if it's present at 0th index. 0th index will be my mid, right? 10 equal to 10. Yes, it's present. I'll return true, right? Now imagine if my key does not exist. Okay. Now let's say it went to the left hand side. Okay. Now it checked till left hand side, but element does not exist, right? In that case, my list will be empty, right? If at any stage of my program, if my list becomes empty, I'll return false. Okay. Now if you see, I'm checking with mid. If it's not equal to mid, I'm calling a binary search on the left hand side. If it's greater than a mid, I'm calling a binary search on the right hand side. And this thing I'm doing in a repetitive manner. If I can use a recursion. Now let's try to write a recursive program for this.
So when you try to take the right or left part, you add another list.
So in that case, my indexing and slashing will help me in my life. Okay. So I have a list, I have a key, I have a function defined binary search which takes a list and a key, right? Now have a look here. So I'll say div binary search. The function name is like binary search. Alright. I'll pass the list and the key again. Okay. What I have said, I'll calculate the mid, right? So I'll say mid is variable, mid is equals to whatever is my length of this list.
But first you will sort it.
For now I'm taking sorted only. Right? Okay, do this thing then. Not sort. Okay. Alright, so this is a list. I'm passing a sorted of it. Okay. I'll calculate mid. How I calculate mid? Ln of L. Sure. Right? Because if I use division operator, it might give me a floating point value, right? Now this is the index where I'll try to search for my number, right? I'll say if key equals L of mid, right? If this is the case, I say return Clear till now? So I'm calculating mid. I'm checking if this key present at a mid element or not. Okay. If not, what I have to check? I have to check if this key is greater than this L of mid, right? And my next condition will be
So we don't to be use it.
if. Okay.
We can't do it like else if, right?
No. My keyword is L. Okay. Now, if my key is greater, what does it mean? So my
Right hand.
it's on the right hand side, right? So I'll see. Binary search of. I need to pass like the list which is on the right hand side. Just one. So here I can use my slicing. I'm saying my once is it's fixed that it's on the right hand side. I have to pass a list which is on the right hand side, that is mid plus one till end of the list, right? Otherwise, try for the binary search. On the left hand side. For that I can say I love start will be start of the list and mid, right?
Or you can define show that the second return binary search.
Mhm.
Why it will return the binary? So let's say it is
So see, what it will happen. So you are searching it will you will return at 89, right? Now it will check. Let's say my key is 20. Okay, so you check till 89 and you give a call for the binary search of this. It will go to the else statement, right? Now I have a list this. Now I'm giving a call to entire binary search function again, considering this list and the same key, right? Now this will again return, it will check for mid, calculate mid, and it will check if element is present or not. Now let's say you got element as this is at mid, right? It returned true to you, right? Now this will return to the your original call, right? So 89. Now this this is the final. As we have given only one call, this is only just a one level. So you got a true here, and this will be returned to the original function. Okay, but imagine if it goes to the 2 to 3 levels down, it will call to this call.
one problem. If there is no number like then
Yeah. Clear till now?
it returns okay.
So it's followed. It's followed.
If it becomes 20, then it will be returned true, and then it will return as result as okay. If it is 90.
Clear till now?
Yeah.
So I have just handled till now that if my element is present or not. Now I have key as 20.
This will work even if the limit is 10.
Yeah. Then time will know and what happened. Oh, my sort function will not return me anything, right? Print this. Yeah. Now this will work for the values which are present, right? Now I haven't handled the condition where my element is not present.
I can't process for function.
Because so whenever you are seeing L dot sort, right, you are returning the value which is I'm getting from L dot sort. But my L dot sort will actually return the nothing, right? And I'm passing none actually. This is what it happens. Now if I make an element as element which does not exist, so it will throw me an error, right? Because ultimately my list will become empty, right? It will go on checking, and in the end my list will become empty, and that's why it will throw me an error, right? Just a second. What I do, I'll print this list entire thing in each column, okay? And I'll print my mid also. Oh, sorry, I cannot do it here. I'll do it here. And I'll print the element also.
Give it a star here to me, when you feed it to the function.
No, it's a normal. Okay. Now first I'm passing this and I'm getting mid as a 99, right? Okay. Now in the second call it will check if element present or not. And in the second call why I'm getting okay. So that's a matter, okay. But still it continued
So
to give call.
you cannot have one more else.
Yeah, right?
You can have an else here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can have an else. Where you can,
Another else
for no number is not
yeah.
here.
So if you want to handle that, you will just simply
Else if key is less than
see, first thing you will handle is if ln of ln of l equals 0, return false.
when you are passing the variable to the function, you are passing it as L.
Entire list I'm
You are
passing.
passing entire list.
Entire list I'm passing.
Yeah. So if you
That's
specify
why I
argument,
accepted
then you will take it as 111.
One hour. Try to handle that condition also.
No, no, I'm saying like you are passing a key
Mhm.
which is not at all present in that list.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can handle it something like you can have one more else condition
Mm-hmm.
where you can say key is less than.
The problem with that approach is, so see here, if I'm checking this here, if ln of l equal to 0, else return false, right? Why I'm saying it, if I remove this, correct, and if I add it somewhere down here, okay, what will happen? I'm trying to calculate my mid also, right?
No, I'm not saying so that can be anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you not to put else condition, right?
No, where?
See, this can be a body,
Uh-huh.
and that can be one more body,
Uh-huh.
where it will return spells only with the length is 0.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Otherwise, it will execute this.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but my what I'm saying is, if you specify wrong value, the value is not present in the list,
Mm-hmm.
then how does it handle?
So it will continue. It will try to search. Okay, let's say I'm passing 160, right? Now if you see here, I have this
Oh,
list.
you meant to say it will become 0, is it?
Yes. So see here, I have this list. So it calculated the mid as 99. Okay. So I'm printing the list and the mid, right? Now it will check if the key which you're passing is greater than or less than it, right? It's greater than. Okay. So for the next iteration, passing the list as 111, 115, and 150. Right? Now you got this list. Now it calculated the mid as 159, right? Now it will again check if it's equal to mid or not. If not, calculate if it's greater or less than. It found that it's greater than 150. Now the next element passed is 150, right? Now when it passed 150, again my mid it tried to calculate 150. So it got mid as 150. It again checked element, right? Now it's not true. Again, it passed a list from mid plus 1 to the end of it. Now it does not exist. Okay. I'll just add another thing here. So in the last iteration, I'm getting a list as empty. If my element does not exist, so I'm just checking that if my list became empty, which means there's no element, which means my element does not exist.
To avoid the complete.
Exactly. So if it's empty, I'll not calculate this mid and all. I'll just stop it there.
So, good question is, saturate trials building
Mm-hmm.
two or forms, APS building,
Mm-hmm. So you're passing, you're calculating, so you're passing LN to calculate.
first we minus
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right mid. Mid is 90.
So yeah, you will made it 90. Okay.
First
Now let's check if this is less than or greater. It's
Yes.
less than of it. So that's why to pass the list is less than of it, right?
So
So now it is 50.
and
I will again calculate the mid 50 and to check if it's present at the mid of right? Now it will pass the list as a left. It will check if it's greater than less than. That will pass 10 and 28. Now we calculated the mid. Now my mid is 20, right? Now the thing is, so your mid is 20, it checks what is your key, right? Key is 20, right? So my mid is 20, key is 20, that's why it's written 2.
it's not
It's written. That's why it's in print statement, this print statement. That is how the equation. Yeah. Okay. So this is my recursion, and this is the ways how I can pass my values to my functions, right? Now, so far we have used multiple modules, right? Have you seen math module? Anish? Have you called math module?
No.
Input math?
No.
No. Random module?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were writing file in a single file only. Okay. Now, how I can access this binary search from the other file? Okay. Now, in my Python, my each.py file is a module. Okay. Each py file is a module, and I can import each particular module and I can access the function from it. Okay. So let's say this is name is function 10. Okay. I am creating another file. I'm calling it as let's say mod.py. Okay. I have to access this particular function, right? So first thing you have to say import. Okay, that file name. Okay. Now we are saying you're doing help of str, right? Help of str, and it was showing me the entire list for this particular file. What are the functions, right? Now I'm importing this. I'm saying help of function 10. Okay. Now it will tell me all the information about this. So the name is function temp. Okay. Now there's nothing in my description, so it's showing all the comments and all. Now there is a one function that is binary search and the key, right? And whatever with the data is shown. Okay. So it will give a brief idea about this function, right?
But all should be the same folder.
Yeah, that is the description. Okay. So I have this binary search function I can see, which takes a list as the argument and the key as the another argument and gives me if element present or not. Right? What I do in this file, I'm creating the list. I'm saying t is equals to 50. Okay. I'm saying print binary search of L, for the simplicity, I am removing these 20 statements. What is the function name? So I'm saying an import statement and I'm specifying the file name from which I have to import something. Okay. If I have to access any function from that file, I'll say that file name dot the function name and the arguments. Okay. So I'm saying I'm passing this L and key and I'm getting, I don't know, these two results I'm getting. Right? Now what are these two results? Okay. Now if I go here, so this is my list. I'm adding one extra print statement. Okay.
So we will execute the caller function, right?
Exactly.
I'm getting only one.
You're getting only one?
Because the function will be all print.
Exactly.
That's why.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So if you see, so these two values are from my function file, right? And this true is from my this function mod, right? So why I'm getting this? Okay. So if I just have to say here and just print.
I have two PR files on a desktop, so
Mhm.
will it be able to?
Yeah.
But if there are any indentation errors, right? While compiling, if there are any errors in the function definition, and I just invoke the function in another thread. When I compile that particular file, so whether it will show the compilation or
Okay. So first we'll cover this and we'll try for errors. Okay. So if you see, I'm getting this two results from my first file content, and this is the result of binary search for this particular module.